Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to be giving you an update on dog arthritis. So it's been a year now since I've had humps and I'm so pleased with how it's going. It's going really, really well. So I'm just going to go through with you what I've done and how it's all going. So if you don't know, I've done a playlist. I've done a whole series of videos about dog arthritis because I had to do so much research, and it's all in the videos. If you go to playlist, go to dog arthritis, it's all in there. I found out some really quite amazing stuff about different foods that make arthritis bad. I talked to you about what arthritis is, how it all works, what you're trying to aim with it. So go and watch them if you haven't, if you think your dog's got arthritis, because I learned so much. It's really incredible and achieved some amazing things. So the first thing is that when humps came to us a year ago, he couldn't, so his back legs were really, really thin, and the back leg that's nearest to me now, he pretty much lifted that up most of the time. It was hobbling along on three legs for quite a while, and he had absolutely no muscle around the legs, and the legs were shaking, especially the leg that he was standing on. It was shaking. He just didn't have the muscle to hold it up. And I'm assuming that comes from, you know, if you don't know, he's from Korea, and I'm assuming that just comes from a lifetime of living in a cage and not using his back legs. And had x-rays done, and he has really bad arthritis in those back legs. The worst thing that happened, well, I don't know if it was the worst thing. At the time I thought it was, but with hindsight I don't think it was that he couldn't take anti-inflammatories. He was just sicking them back up really quickly, and there was just no way. His body just wasn't taking anti-inflammatories at all. And then there was the injection that you can have, which is an anti-inflammatory injection, and the whole point of that was that it bypasses the stomach. And the vet, you know, I'm just going to put it straight, the vet lied. The vet said that there were no side effects to that injection, and so I almost gave it to him. We almost signed up for that. And then I researched it and found out that's actually a load of rubbish. And so if you are thinking about giving your dog the injection, the anti-inflammatory injection, you have them once a month, I really, really would say, you know, you need to research it, because you don't have to go far. There's whole Facebook pages completely dedicated to the side effects of them. And they're not just physical side effects, it's behavioural side effects as well. And then once you've had the injection, you're stuck with it for a month, and those awful behavioural problems and stuff. And sure, not all dogs are affected, but a lot of dogs are, and luckily I found all of that, and so that absolutely was not a road I was going down. And that, whilst I thought that was, at the time I was a bit despairing, it was nothing to worry about, because once I started looking into what arthritis is, understanding how it works, and like I said, if you don't know, there's a video, go to the playlist, Understanding Dog Arthritis. And once I understood what it was and what I actually needed the joint to do to get it better, it was great. It was really, really great. And if you look at him now, if we follow him, marching off, you can see that he's really using both of those legs now really well. There's no shaking at all. And you can't really see it while he's standing up, but when he lies down, you can really see the muscle that he's got on those back legs. Real muscle, real big, thick, solid muscle. And when he first came, like, he couldn't scratch his ear, he couldn't bend round. They're standing on the bad leg. That was the leg he couldn't even stand on before. And that was the thing, is that he couldn't go to toilet properly. He used to pee like a girl. But now, you know, he stands on it like a boy, and you can see him marching along. There was none of that. He would have to do a few steps, then we'd have to stop. But now he's marching along no problem. And before, when we first got him, he couldn't turn round to clean, you know, his private ends if he wanted to, because he just couldn't. His legs hurt too much for him to bend around that way. He couldn't jump onto sofas or get into the car, had to lift him. He couldn't really do anything. Whereas, and I kept, I kept just, look, you see, can you see how well he's doing? And he kept visualise. Where's another dog? Here we go. There's my little Albert over here. Humps has run off. Here's Albert. And I just kept thinking, all I want to see him do is scratch that back leg. With his back legs, scratch his ears. If I could just see him scratch his ears with his back legs, and then In one of the update videos, I actually got that on camera, and it was such a happy day for me because he was finally able to use those back legs, and it was a real sign to me that we were really, really making progress. And you've seen the progress with him now. You've seen now he's run off to the other side of the field. Not on his own, there were people there, you know. But the improvement is absolutely incredible. And he jumps all over the place, and I don't really let him do agility, but you know, now and again, if he sees I've got there's some safe seesaws here, he'll do them. Honestly, it's absolutely incredible. And it's the same stuff that I've been using, and I'll quickly go through that with you now. So I'm still using the same stuff that I always use. So that was the hyaluronic acid, was a massive changer there. Green lip mussel, glucosamine, the salmon oil. If you go to, I did a video about the supplements that I'm using to help with the arthritis, and I show you the actual packets I'm using and the brands and the amounts, and I go into real detail with all of that. And I'm still using them all the same ones, and it's incredible how it's worked. And although this has been a year, the hyaluronic acid was the last supplement that I discovered was a good one, and I would say that was when things really started to change. And like I said, if you don't know about any of these supplements, go into the playlist. I'll put it up at the bottom for you at the end, and you'll be able to see that I just go through exactly what each one does and why it works. Something that I did discover that really was important was, so I can't see what I'm recording because the sun's shining, which is lovely, was synovial fluid. So this is a fluid that when you move, this is not just dogs, this is humans as well. When you move, the synovial fluid comes out and it pumps up the cartilage. So the cartilage is the foamy, spongy stuff in between the bones that stops them clanging together. That's basically what arthritis is. It's just that the cartilage has gone. So synovial fluid pumps that back up. But to get synovial fluid going, you have to walk. And not just dogs, humans as well. You have to walk. So there's no doubt about that. If there's, like before, I was sort of inclined to be like, oh, he's in so much pain, we're not going to walk him. But actually, that's the worst thing you can do, because then they're not getting that fluid, and that fluid only comes out by them walking. So I can see how it's really tempting to think, oh, well, he's up on exercise. But actually, it's the worst thing you can do. And I've really seen that when I did before, I knew if we didn't exercise him, you could see that he was worse on those days. But once you got him out and walking, even on really cold days, once you got him out and walking, you could see that it really, really helped. And that's really been an important one, the synovial fluid. I'm not quite sure where he's gone. He's gone under there. I can't imagine what... Oh, there he is. I can't imagine what horrors are under there. I know I certainly wouldn't be going under there. He's just exploring now. He's just such a happier dog. He's digging a hole under there. He does love to dig holes. He's a right hole digger. At home, I did have an area, I call it my meadow. It's probably about 1 metre by 1 metre. But in my little world, that was a little meadow. And I've had to give it to him because he needs to dig. He's digging a hole under there. I can see him. This is an agility course. I'm not sure you're supposed to be under it digging holes. Well, if I hadn't seen him go under that, I would have been very worried about where he was. It's not very wide, you can see. It's just like a little piece of wood. I could get him out if I needed to. Has he come out the other side, or is he still there? I don't know, he might pop out in a minute. Okay, what else can I talk to you about? Oh, I forgot to say when I was talking about the supplements, turmeric. That's an incredible anti-inflammatory. But like I said, go back and watch that video, and it'll all be in there. Are you having fun in there? I don't know if you should be in there digging holes. Are you in there digging holes? Oh! Oh! There's a dog kicking off somewhere else. Right, not sure what that was all about. Some dog somewhere that they didn't like the sound of at all. The other thing I want to talk to you about is his weight. He does, some days I look at him and I think, oh, he needs to lose some more weight. Other days I look at him and think, no, he's fine. So, you know, we're right on the cusp of sorting that all out and it all being good. But losing weight was vital. So when he came, he was really overweight, quite badly overweight actually, and so I had to make sure that I got his weight down. That was quite easy to do it. I think where we come from before, not Korea but the Fosters, I think they just fed him sort of a lot of bad tidbits, which, you know, you can sort of understand they want to do that, but it's really bad for him. And the second, you know, I didn't do that, and he lost weight actually really quite quickly. It was quite easy to get him to lose weight. But if you know me, you know my channel, you know I'm quite crazy about nutrition and dog nutrition, and grain-free. Grains turn to sugar when a dog eats them, and that sugar turns to inflammation. So that is going to obviously be very bad for anything like arthritis. And so absolutely I mean, my dogs were already on a grain-free food, but if your dog isn't on a grain-free food and you've got arthritis, it's almost vital that you get them off that, because it's just going to cause inflammation. So even if you were giving supplements and exercise and doing all of that stuff, it wouldn't be any good, because if you're going to be feeding them on grains, you're going to be getting inflammation in their body all the time. So that isn't going to help at all. So you really need to get them off the grains. Again, if it's not something you're aware of, if you don't understand it, if you go to my playlist, go to feeding dogs, and I've got loads of videos on there talking about nutrition, and also talking about how to understand what's in your dog food. You need to be reading the composition and understanding how composition works, and I explain all that to you. I also was getting so many messages from you saying that's all well and good, but you couldn't afford to feed them grain-free food, and so I came up with a recipe. It's healthy, it's grain-free, and it came out at to feed one of my dogs, so they're all around roughly the same kind of 10 kilogram weight, and to feed one of them it came out at £1 a day. So that, again, if you go to feeding dogs, it's all in there. So that is a really important. The other thing to mention, I don't know where he is, let me go and find him. The other thing to mention is that although he's doing incredibly well, you've seen that with your own eyes, he is stiff first thing in the morning. So I don't get up and take my dog straight for a walk. I get up, I feed my dogs, then I wait an hour. Incredibly important that you do that because of bloat and trap wind. It's nothing to muck around with bloat. It can kill dogs. It's very serious. You know, again, there's videos. If you go to the playlist, there's a video. In feeding dogs, I think it's, yeah, I've got those videos in the feeding dog playlist. So I have that hour. In the hour, I'm getting myself showered and ready for the day, and then we go out for our walk. That I do that just because that's how it all works. That's just how it's worked over the years for me. But the one benefit of that is that it gives him that hour to loosen up a bit, because he is stiffer in the mornings. Now, one thing about Humps is that he sleeps in the same position solid the whole night through. He doesn't move. So he will just curl up on the end of the bed and doesn't move the whole night through. And that's fine. That's great. It's brilliant that he's having a good night's sleep. But I think it makes him that bit more stiffer in the morning than maybe a dog that was moving around. So because he is a bit stiff in the morning, I'm just really careful of making sure that when I go to say hello to him, that I don't go near his back end, things like that. The other thing is that he still has the memory of the pain. So even though his back legs aren't hurting him now, and I know they're not, because when it's later on in the day, I can brush them and stuff like that. So I know he's not in pain with them. But the thing to remember is that I have to remember that he still has the memory of the pain. He still remembers that if anybody goes near his back legs, then that really used to hurt him an awful lot. And oh goodness. But you know, when he first came to us, he must have been in absolute agony with those legs. So it's really important that I remember that he still has the memory of it, and so I'm very cautious around those back legs still. I go very slowly, very gently, and I'm just very cautious, and I remember, and I'm just very aware that he still remembers how much it hurt when people touch those back legs, and it's probably going to take him a long time to get over that memory. So we haven't, I'm thinking now, so we've had him for a year, so we've only done one winter, and our last winter was a particularly harsh winter. And he definitely got bad if it rained. Mist was a bad one. If it was misty, his legs would be very stiff. Now what I'm hoping and assuming is going to happen this winter coming, so now I'm recording this, we're in September, so this winter coming I'm imagining that he's going to be a whole load better, because he is a whole load better. But and again, I've done a whole video on different weather conditions and how it affects arthritis, and you kind of almost can't believe that it would affect it that much, but it does, because of the pressure. The different weather conditions create different pressures, and so this looks like I've got my dogs in a cage. I don't. We're in a agility course, and this is the gate out to the car park. They like going out there because there's horses over there they want to have a look at. But yeah, it's quite incredible how weather does affect the arthritis because of the pressure it creates. So that again is a video worth looking at. Yeah, and really be aware of that. I mean, I still, you know, like I said, you still got to take them out in those weather conditions because you need the synovial fluid. But just be aware that if it's misty or windy was another one. In fact, loads of weather conditions affected it. And so just be aware that in those weather conditions, they can be, you know, it can be more painful for them. So that's it, that's our little update. I'm absolutely delighted with how it's gone. I don't think it could have gone that well if he was on, you know, traditional medicine. Absolutely delighted with that. I think that's gone very well. This makes me laugh. So we pay, this is a big field and it's got the agility course in it and all of that. And we pay, you have to hire it, it's not free. You have to pay to hire it. And we do that often every week, and the dogs can have a good old run around in the field. And they sit by the gate because they want to go out and have a wander around the car park. Don't you? They don't appreciate it at all. Do you not understand that, Harry? I pay to have this field hired for you, and you want to go out there and wander around in the car park. I could have not bothered paying for it and just walked you around the car park. Dogs are funny, aren't they? They really are. That's it then. You know, as we know where I am. You know where Pickle will be in the next video, don't you, darling? You'll be here. Harry? Harry? You're going to be in the next video. That's it. If you've got any questions, pop them in comments. You know where I am, all the stuff. On Instagram, if you want to DM me. Seems to be where most of you are DMing me. Works really well for you. But you know, in comments if you want it to be public. And I hope that you and your dogs all have a really good day. And I hope that if your dogs have got arthritis, that something that, you know, my experience has helped, because I really did have to research it and learn, and the results have been incredible. So I really hope that you're able to help your dog with some of those things. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.